First and foremost, knowing who you are. Knowing who you are. Being able to answer this question, who am I? And what do I want? I'm asking the bigger question of who am I? Who am I really? And what do I want? I don't want to just be successful in the world. I don't want to just make a mark or have a legacy. The answer to that question for me is I want to fulfill the highest, truest expression of myself as a human being. You must have some kind of vision for your life. Even if you don't know the plan, you have to have a direction in which you choose to go. You want to be in the driver's seat of your own life, because if you're not, life will drive you. Knowing who you really are in this space and time that we embody. You must find a way to serve. Martin Luther King said that not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great, because greatness is determined by service. Now, we live in a world where everybody wants to be famous and where we admire people for just being famous. We think being known brings us value. The truth is, all of that will fade in time. In 3 years, you won't be able to name the housewives of Atlanta. The real truth is that service and significance, service and the significance that you bring to your service is that which is lasting. When you shift the paradigm of whatever it is you choose to do to service, and you bring significance to that, success will, I promise you, follow you. Service and significance equals success. Here's the key. Learn from every mistake, because every experience, encounter, and particularly your mistakes are there to teach you and force you into being more of who you are. And then figure out what is the next right move. What is your true calling? What is your dharma? What is your purpose? All of you leaving here have the potential for enormous success. There's a price that comes with that. People don't always like you, and they're not always happy for you. And if you surround yourself with people who are not accustomed to your success, they become fearful. They become scared, because you are reflecting back something to them that they don't recognize. People who want the best for you want you to be your best. So my greatest advice to you is to surround yourself with people who are going to fill your cup until your cup runneth over. And what I know for sure is that the biggest choices begin and end with you, your internal big questions. Who do I want to be in the world? Be excellent. People notice. Let excellence be your brand. Everybody talks about building a brand. I never even knew what that was. When people say, you're a brand, I would say, no, I'm just Oprah. What I recognize now is that my choice to, in every way, in every example, in every experience, to do the right thing and the excellent thing is what has created the brand.
All right. Y'all ready to be excellent? You ready to have your cup runneth over? Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about long-term vision. And I just want to pour some belief into you because I get emotional as I listen to that because I look around on this screen and I see so many faces of people that deserve greatness and abundance and joy and just all of the incredible things in life. But I also know that there are people on this call that will quit themselves before they reach their true purpose, before they get through all of those battles that are yet to be won. And so I want to just encourage you tonight a little bit about how to focus on the long-term vision, because that's a huge part of this business. So the first question that I have for you is, who are you? Right? Oprah said, who are you? Life is full of seasons. And you don't always get to see everybody's seasons. We talk about this all the time. You don't know the first chapter, sometimes you see them on the 50th chapter, right? But life is full of seasons. So we're constantly learning about ourselves and the season we're in. And I want you to really evaluate where you are, especially those of you on this call. You guys are leaders. You may have been in a season 6 weeks ago or 6 months ago that was completely different, strictly because you are in a different position today. Where you are in your business, where you are in your life, it may have completely changed, and you need to figure out who you are in that season. Okay, so really do a deep dive into this question, dig into it and figure that out, because I think that the more that we identify who we are and who we want to be, the better leaders we become, the better business owners we become, and the more we can attract the people that we want to partner with, which I think is so important. What do you want? And I'm going to have you guys drop a comment in the chat. I want you to think about this. If you were gone tomorrow, what do you want people to say about you? What's one word that you want people to say about you? This is really important to identify, because every day, so put that in the chat if you can think of one word that's important to you that that you would want people to remember you by. What would it be? This is so important. I love it. Helper, hope, so great. This is so important because loyal, caring, as you are developing yourself as a leader in this business, those are the pieces, right? It's not about your rank, it's not about your status, it's not about your volume or your points. That does not determine your value. It's not. It's about who you are to everyone around you. The mark that you are making is what's important. Okay, so it's such a big deal to remember is who are you and who do you want other people to remember you by? Because oftentimes we get wrapped up in this idea of what people see or think about us, their opinions, when really it's about what do we choose to put out into the world? Who do we choose to be? What is the word or the thought that we want to come to people's mind when they think about us? That's a choice for us. Okay, so the next part of this is, what do you want? I know that probably sounds really simple, and we could say, oh, I want to be this rank, or I want to be that, or I want to do this one thing, but I guarantee you have not dug into this. You really have got to peel away the layers, because the bigger your business gets, the further along you get. Every month when we do this call and you're in a new stage, I guarantee you, your vision has to be bigger. I will never forget, I heard Brandon Stevens say one time that his business was in the infancy stage. And I thought, what? It's ginormous. Like, he probably doesn't even know how many levels he has in his business. And he said that because it's true. He still is nurturing it, working hard, doing all of the things because his vision is so big. I guarantee you, when he was a gold ambassador, an elite ambassador, a platinum ambassador, whatever, all of the stages, his vision had to get bigger and bigger and bigger. He had to look further and further and further to be able to stay in the race, right? So it's really important to know what you want, to dream big. I remember my husband and I sat down. I think I had just gone silver, maybe just gone gold. I think that's when it probably got very real that this was going to take off. And I said, we didn't even know what we wanted. Like, I was like, what would you want to do if we could do anything, if we could go anywhere, if we could, we've always lived in Texas. Is that where we want to be? We live in a certain house, or we do this or that. Like, what do you want? Obviously, taking your shareholders into consideration, but what is it? Dream big and be bold with those dreams and write them down, identify them. Don't limit what God has for you just because of what you are used to having. He has so much abundance for you. And that doesn't just mean monetarily. That means in every facet. If there is a charity you have wanted to start, if there is a cause you have wanted to contribute to, if there is some kind of dream that's deep in there, maybe your husband wants to go back to school for some crazy thing that you're like, why would we do that at this stage, right? Who knows what it is, but you need to figure that out and identify it, because that will drive you. That will help you see the long-term vision. Okay. And then ask yourself, how are you going to get there? Once you've identified that, you've got to know how you're going to get there. What's your vehicle? Because if you already had the right vehicle in the past, you'd already be there, right? So recognizing, like, can I get there with what I already have? Or do I need something like Q? Do I need an opportunity like this to be able to create my dreams? So network marketing does not have to be your dream, but it can fund your dreams. It can help you get there. You've got to know what they are, though. Do you have long-term vision? Do you think about today and what your numbers look like today and who joined your team today and all those things? Or do you think about tomorrow? Do you think about a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 6 years from now? If you are thinking about today, then you need to reevaluate your vision, because I promise you, it won't last. You won't be able to sustain the ups and downs that you will go through based on today. You can win big today and lose big tomorrow. That's just how it goes in everything in life. I see some heads nodding. I know many of you guys know what that is like, right? So it's really important that you have a long-term vision. Are you willing to do what it takes to reach those dreams and goals? If you're not, then how big is your vision, right? Okay, so if I name off things, so if you said yes to that, you're like, yes, I'm willing to do what it takes. That's why I'm on this leadership call at 9:00, Brooke. Okay, but guess what? What happens if tomorrow your biggest leg is gone? What happens if, and I'm just speaking in small things, what happens if something in your life turns upside down? We heard about that tonight, right? What happens if somebody on this call has had devastating health news in the middle of, actually the beginning of creating her dreams and goals? What if that's you tomorrow? What if the people that you thought were going to be standing with you at the end don't choose that? What if all of the leaders on this call are not the leaders on my call next month? Right? Because that's how this goes. That's the reality. And I can tell you, I can think of the top 10 leaders in our company. I don't know one, including the very top earner, who has not had tragedy strike her business. Every single one of them. You may not know that. You may not see that. You may not recognize that, but it happens. But their vision is so big, including Jake Spencer and Mark Wilson and their wives and everyone involved. They've all had that moment of, how do I pick myself up from this today? But their vision is so big that they know that today is not the end of the road. They know that tomorrow is not the end of the road. And they can see the future. So is it worth it? Are your goals and your dreams, all those things that I mentioned, are they big enough to withstand the ups and the downs, the hills and the valleys? Because there will be those things. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It just is. You just have to know that. There's a reason that, when you're in like a really rocky boat, they're like, focus on the horizon, right? You got to look out. You got to see the future. I know that there are people right now on this call going through some of the biggest struggles of their lives, personally, professionally, all the things. You guys may not even realize that I'm going through struggles, but I am. We all do. But if you focus on the horizon, if you look to the future, if you find that place where you know you're destined to be, you can get through anything. Keep your dreams and goals in your direct line of vision. Protect them with everything you have. I love what Oprah said about, understanding that the more success you have, the more people will hate you. And y'all, that's really tough for this one right here, because I want nothing but the best for people. I want to love them and I want them to love me back. But the more success I have, the more it shines a light on them. That they aren't willing to do the hard things, that they aren't willing to be where I am, to do what I'm doing. And so instead of being my friend and cheering me on, they take off because it's too hard for them to face the music. They don't want to look in the mirror. What we're doing is big, y'all. I know it might feel like you just joined a network marketing company, but that's not what this is about. Like, what we're doing, what we're striving for, where we're headed is huge. This part of your life will be a journey that is remembered forever. And it is something that will change the trajectory of your life in lots of different ways, not just financially, but in so many ways. And most people just aren't willing to put up the fight. So protect your vision, your dreams, and your goals with everything you have. And if you have trouble protecting those things, if you feel like forces are coming against you, you come find me, you come find one of these amazing leaders on this call, and we will help fight for you. Because everybody has a day. Ask Kristen. That when you're ready to go gold and you don't think it's gonna happen, you come find me, because I will remind you that what you want is worth fighting for. And you are deserving of all of those good things. Make sure you're updating your why and your vision every 90 days at a bare minimum, because it will change and it will develop. And if you don't have a big enough plan, a big enough vision to match the struggle that you will face, new levels, new devils, Marielle always tells me. This is how it is. If you haven't expanded that, you won't be able to hang on. Okay? It's just the way it is. So I just want to encourage you tonight that you can do this. You are capable. You are worthy. You are deserving. And if you do the action, if you put in the work, good things are coming. So, and I will be here to cheer you on and walk with you every step of the way through the hills and the valleys. So really, really grateful that you guys hopped on tonight. And I hope you feel encouraged. I hope your cup runneth over.